Bruh, look at this. You walk in, sharp eyes, calm stride, fresh energy, and instantly they judge you. They think you're too young, too soft, too easy to break. Oh wow, how wrong they are. They don't see the scars hidden deep. They don't see the fire. Yeah, nah, they thought they could mess with you, right? But here's the truth. Every doubt they throw, every laugh they spit, every smirk they flash becomes fuel for you. Listen close. This isn't just talk. This is war. This speech is not for the weak, not for the shallow, not for the fake. It's for the legends watching right now. You, the audience, the warriors who refuse to be underestimated. You're the real storm, the ones they never expected. And let me give you your flowers right here. Respect for standing tall, for pressing play, for showing up. So don't just watch, feel this, breathe this, live this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your fire. Smash that super thanks. If this speech burns in your chest, because today, this isn't just a video. Nah, this is a revolution. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of it. They thought they could measure you by the wrinkles you don't have. That's the brutal truth. You walk into a room and the first thing they notice is not the sharpness of your mind, not the strength in your voice, not the weight of the storms you've survived. No, they notice the absence of years on your face. And suddenly they build a story that you're untested, unscarred, unfinished. Oh wow, how quickly they mistake surface for substance. It's laughable, isn't it? They see the youthful skin, the glow of energy still living in your eyes, and they think it's a weakness. They think time hasn't trained you. They think struggle hasn't forged you. Yeah? Nah. They think wrong, because the mistake they're making is the most fatal one of all. They are underestimating you. And underestimation is a poison they willingly drink. You see, when people assume you are younger than your age, they treat you like a child in a battlefield. They throw words at you like stones, expecting you to flinch. They hand you doubt like it's a gift, expecting you to unwrap it and choke on it. They try to drag you into their hierarchy, placing you at the bottom, smiling as if they've won. But what they don't realize is this. Every time they try to bury you under their assumptions, you rise sharper. Every dismissal is fuel. Every smirk is fire. Every doubt is a weapon that turns in your hands. Oh, the irony. The very thing they think makes you small, makes you dangerous. Because youth, or at least the appearance of it, is camouflage. It's the mask that lets you move through the battlefield unnoticed until it's too late. While they're busy laughing, while they're busy plotting, while they're busy underestimating, you're studying, calculating, positioning. And then, when the moment strikes, you unleash. Suddenly, the one they treated like an amateur rips through their illusions with the precision of a master. That's when the shock hits them. That's when they realize they weren't mocking a beginner. They were provoking a storm that had been waiting quietly for its chance. Oh wow. The silence before a storm always fools the arrogant. And when it breaks, the world never forgets. Do you see it now? Do you feel it? The advantage isn't in looking older, harder, tougher. The advantage is in being underestimated so brutally that they leave themselves wide open. And when you finally strike, it doesn't just wound them, it shatters them, because nothing cuts deeper than the realization that they never saw you coming. They wanted to mess with you because of your face. They'll regret it because of your fire. And that fire is only just starting to burn. So let me ask you, are you ready to see what happens when the storm finally speaks? The storm doesn't whisper, it roars. That's the answer. That's the reality. You wanted to know what happens when the storm finally speaks. It doesn't politely knock. It doesn't gently announce itself. It tears the door from its hinges. It shakes the walls. It makes them realize too late that silence was never safe. It was a warning. Oh wow, how blind they were to mistake your quiet for weakness. See, the moment you let the fire breathe, the whole room changes. Those same people who mocked you for looking younger, who thought they could play you like some pawn, suddenly freeze. Yeah, nah. The laughter dries up. The smirks fall off their faces. Because they never prepared for this version of you, the one who carries scars they can't see, the one whose battles don't rest on the surface of skin but live deep in the marrow of the soul. They thought age was the measure of wisdom. They thought lines on a forehead meant lines of experience. But you're the contradiction they can't solve. You're the living reminder that time doesn't always write truth on the skin. Sometimes it writes it in silence, in discipline, in scars nobody else can count. And when you finally show it, they panic, because their whole system of judgment collapses. Oh, the panic is beautiful. Watching arrogance break is like watching glass shatter. The sound is sharp, sudden, and unforgettable. And the best part, you didn't even have to fake it. You didn't have to play their shallow game. All you did was reveal what was already inside. And that truth, your truth, slices deeper than any weapon they could ever hold. Do you know what makes this power terrifying? It's not just that you look younger. It's that you are older, sharper, harder than they'll ever comprehend. You've walked through storms that would have drowned them. You've carried weight that would have broken their backs. You've faced darkness that would have consumed their fragile little egos. And yet, here you stand, unshaken, breathing, smiling. Yeah. That smile, it's not the smile of someone who doesn't know pain. It's the smile of someone who owns it. The smile of someone who mastered it so completely that it became fuel. And that's what terrifies them most. Because now they see. Now they understand. They didn't just underestimate you. They armed you. Every insult was training. Every dismissal was firewood. Every doubt was a sharpened blade placed in your hands. And when the storm speaks, it speaks with a voice they cannot silence. Oh wow. Now the tables turn. They wanted to break you, but instead they built you. They wanted to bury you, but instead they crowned you. They wanted to silence you, but instead they gave you thunder. And thunder always demands lightning. So the real question is this: what happens when the lightning finally strikes? When lightning strikes, it doesn't ask permission. It declares war. That's the answer. That's the truth they never wanted to hear. Because lightning doesn't whisper or wait. It rips through the sky. It tears the darkness apart. It burns its signature into the earth. And you are that lightning. They thought they could box you in with assumptions, chain you with judgments, dismiss you with laughter. Oh wow, how little they understood. The strike isn't polite. It isn't careful. It's violent. It's sudden. It's undeniable. And that's what makes it terrifying. Because when you finally unleash the power you've been holding back, there's no stopping it. Yeah? Nah? They can't prepare for it, they can't defend against it. Their smugness, their arrogance, their fragile little strategies, all of it gets ripped apart in one flash. You see, the beauty of lightning isn't just in its destruction. It's in the way it reveals everything. For one blinding second, the whole battlefield is visible, every shadow exposed, every weakness lit, every coward seen. And that's what happens when you finally stop holding back. You illuminate their flaws. You force them to see what they've been hiding from. You drag their hypocrisy into the open. And in that moment, they break. Oh, how fast the mighty stumble when the mask is ripped off. They thought they could toy with you because you looked young. They thought your face meant innocence, inexperience, naivety. But the strike proves the opposite. It shows them that youth in appearance does not equal youth in strength. It shows them that you've been carrying storms inside you far heavier than their shallow judgments could ever measure. And when that truth explodes in front of them, their confidence collapses. Do you know why they hate lightning? Because it's unpredictable. It doesn't follow rules. It doesn't strike where they expect it to. That unpredictability, that chaos, that's your greatest weapon. They can't plan for you. They can't box you in. Every time they think they've figured you out, you strike somewhere new. And every strike leaves a scar that reminds them never to underestimate again. But here's the part that twists the knife. Lightning doesn't strike once. It keeps coming. Over and over. Relentless. Ruthless. And with each strike, the fear grows. They don't just see you as underestimated anymore. They see you as unstoppable. They see you as something that doesn't bow to their timelines, doesn't bend to their systems, doesn't shrink under their labels. And that terrifies them. Yeah. That fear, it's not just fear of you. It's fear of what you represent. You prove that their illusions of power are fragile. You prove that strength doesn't always wear the face of age, and wisdom doesn't always come dressed in wrinkles. You prove that what they mocked is exactly what destroys them. Oh wow. Imagine that. Their own laughter became the spark that lit the sky against them. And once you've struck, once you've exposed them, once you've shattered their confidence, there is no going back. You can't unsee the truth. They can't unfeel the fear. From that point on, every step you take, every word you speak, every silence you hold, it all carries the thunder of the storm they underestimated. And thunder is only the echo. So the real terror isn't the strike itself. It's what comes after. Because after lightning, the fire begins to spread. Fire doesn't ask who deserves to burn. It just spreads. That's the danger. That's the aftermath. When lightning strikes, it doesn't just vanish, it leaves sparks. And those sparks, they catch everything. The arrogance, the whispers, the doubts they threw at you. Suddenly all of it becomes fuel. Oh wow, how poetic it is to watch their own words ignite against them. See, fire has no loyalty. It doesn't care if someone thought they were safe, standing in the shadows, smirking, while others mocked you. Fire exposes them all. Yeah, there is no hiding when the flames rise. Every weakness glows, every false smile melts, every layer of pretense crumbles into ash. That's the beauty of fire. It doesn't just destroy, it reveals. And once revealed, they can't escape it. Their judgment's ashes. Their arrogance, ashes. Their fake superiority, ashes. That's the cost of underestimating someone who looks younger than their years. They thought they could toy with you without consequence, but consequence has teeth, and now it's biting. Oh, and here's the cruel part. Fire doesn't stay contained. Once it begins, it spreads into their minds, into their confidence, into their fragile little sense of control. It devours them from the inside out. They don't just fear you anymore. They fear themselves. They fear the reflection in their own thoughts, realizing how foolish they were, how blind, how utterly exposed. That fear grows until it changes them. Their laughter becomes silent. Their arrogance becomes hesitation. Their confidence becomes paranoia. And you stand in the center of the blaze, untouched, unshaken, breathing in the smoke like it's proof of your victory. Because it is. Yeah, that's the part they can't accept. That the very thing they mocked, your youth, your face, your presence, became the fire that burned their illusions alive. They thought they could mess with you and walk away clean, but now they're scorched, branded, marked forever by the moment they underestimated the wrong person. Oh, wow. It's almost tragic, isn't it? Almost. Because while they crumble, you rise higher. Fire doesn't just destroy, it forges. And what it forges in you is something they'll never touch. Resilience. A kind of strength born not from avoiding flames, but from surviving them, mastering them, becoming them. And once you've become fired, nothing can smother you. Not their lies, not their labels, not their laughter. Nothing. But here's the truth. They're not ready for it. Fire is only the beginning. Because when the blaze has finished its work, when the smoke clears, something new always rises from the ashes. And that something is coming next. From the ashes, something new always rises. Sharper, harder, unstoppable. That's the law of the fire. It never ends with destruction. It ends with transformation. And you, the one they mocked, the one they dismissed, the one they tried to push aside, you are that transformation. Oh, wow. If only they knew what they created when they tried to play with you. See, the ashes are not your weakness. They're your proof. Proof that you endured what they couldn't. Proof that you carried storms and flames that should have broken you, but instead they forged you. Yeah? Nah. They thought those flames would reduce you to nothing. Instead, they turned you into something they can't even comprehend. You don't just rise, you ascend. And in your rise, every scar becomes armor. Every lesson becomes a blade. Every humiliation becomes a throne. That's the secret they never saw coming. The very attempts to bury you became the soil from which you grew stronger. Oh, and when you rise, it isn't quiet. It isn't soft. It's violent. It's undeniable. It shakes the ground beneath their feet. Because rising from ashes is not about returning to what you were. It's about becoming something entirely new, something beyond their reach, beyond their rules, beyond their weak imagination. You are not the same as before. You are not the underestimated figure they laughed at. You are the embodiment of resilience, the living example that destruction does not mean defeat. And that truth eats them alive, because deep down they know they wouldn't survive what you've survived. They wouldn't stand in the blaze the way you stood. They wouldn't rise when everything tried to keep them down, but you did, and that makes you untouchable. Yeah, untouchable. That's the word they can't accept. Because once you've risen from the ashes, nothing they say, nothing they do, nothing they throw at you can truly break you. Their weapons fail, their whispers fall flat, their games collapse under the weight of your survival. Oh wow. The silence of their defeat is delicious. They don't clap, they don't cheer. They just watch, wide-eyed, as you rise higher than they ever imagined. And in that silence, they realize the nightmare they created for themselves. You're not just back, you're better. Because from ashes, fire may fade, but steel is born. And steel does not bend. So the question is, what happens when steel finally decides to strike back? And there it is, the storm unleashed, the fire spread, the steel is unbroken. They thought your youth was weak? Oh wow, how foolish. They thought your face meant innocence. Yeah, nah, it meant danger. Every judgment, every laugh, every doubt, all of it forged the beast they never saw coming. But here's the twist. It's not just my voice tonight, it's yours. You, the audience, the ones who stood through every word, every break, every strike. You're proof that underestimated doesn't mean powerless. You're the living storm, and for that, respect, salute, and tribute. Now, don't just vanish into the shadows. Drop your fire in the comments. Let me hear your roar. Smash that super thanks if this speech cut through your soul. Share this with the ones who need to wake up. Because this isn't the end, it's only the beginning. And the next time they look at you and dare to underestimate you, just smile, because the storm is already inside.